Hey there, this is Tom Crandall from Gear Mashers, and this is my quick review of the Husky Workbench. So this is an adjustable workbench, and the one I have here is a 46 by 2 feet, and this is perfect for me for what I'm using it for. So I'm going to be using the table to do product reviews in my garage. So I do all sorts of reviews, and I thought it would be nice to have a table in the garage to do the reviews on. But when I was setting this table up, I made a big mistake. Not too big, but big enough for me. The handle on here is now in the right position, but when I set the table up, I actually had the handle in the back here. Well, if the table's against the wall, you're not gonna have the ability to adjust it without having to pull the table out from the wall, then crank it up or down. And so I was like, all right, that's gonna get annoying at some point. So I might as well fix it. In order to move the handle from over there to where it should have been, I had to disassemble the entire table. So I had to unscrew all these bolts and everything. It didn't take too long, but it was still like, man, if I had just done it right the first time. And that, I'm sure that's happened to you. So, all right, so that was the first mistake. So don't make that mistake if you're gonna be building this table. Make sure that the handle and the drawers are on the same side. The second mistake, and this one was another thing that really bugged me, was, all right, so I got the table all fixed, and it turned out that the table was slanted. And I'm like, what's going on here? Did I get a lemon? It was me. I was the lemon. Actually, so what happens here is when the table is cranked all the way down, and then you're attaching a rod to the other side so that you can raise it or lower the table. This leg was actually set a little higher, so I didn't have it all the way down. So when I attached the rod from this leg to the other leg, it was offset. And so when I raised the table, I had about an inch higher on one side than the other. And it was pretty apparent when I was looking at the table. I was like, there's something off about this table. And sure enough, I got the level out and I was like, all right, I screwed up. So again, I had to disassemble the table, take all the bolts out, fix it, and make sure that both legs were lowered to the same spot, and then put the rod in and then reassemble it again. The way this table's designed, you basically, if anything revolves around raising or lowering the table, you're gonna have to disassemble the entire table. But other than that, now that everything's assembled, no other mistakes, at least I don't think there's any other mistakes that I've made. It's a really good table and super solid, and you can have, it comes with these casters that slide along the ground, but here in the garage gym I have horse stall mats, and so I put roller casters on there, and those lock out. So another thing that just pay attention to when you're building this is this handle moves back and forth. So when you tip the table up to set it up right, because when you're disassembling it or assembling it, it's gonna be laying on its top here. Just make sure that the handle's all the way in and it doesn't pop out if you're trying to lean the table that way. And then the other thing to take note is with the wheels, lock them out so that when you're bringing the table up, the table doesn't all of a sudden roll out in front of you. So that's my tips with the table. I love this table. It came, I think, so from Home Depot, you can get free shipping. And so I was able to get free shipping rather than having to pick it up. And it turned out great. So I'm really happy with it. And again, I forget how high it can go, but to crank it up, you just turn the handle here and you can bring it down. So it does take a little bit of cranking. It's not like one of those automatic ones that lowers and raises with a push of a button. But for what I'm using it for, I'll probably just be standing up, doing product reviews on the table. So yeah, it's a really good table. You may, if you want to keep the top sort of nice and clean, maybe get a mat or something like that for it. But This was the shortest version, 46. I think they make a 56 version and maybe even a few other longer versions. But for me, and for what I'm using for, the 46 seemed to be good, and it was the least expensive of the table. So Lowe's also has something similar, but I like the Husky brand. I think it's a good product, and so that's what I went with. So anyway, hope you like this quick video, and hopefully you don't make the same mistakes I did when building it. Just make sure that you read the directions. Maybe they were in there as some of those tips. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Take care.